everyone out there. Welcome back to the Phantoms Fanatic YouTube channel. I am back with another review, and this week the second-ish, I'll have another review out before the next episode of Meandering Conversations. Anyways, this review is of See How They Run, released this year in 2022, starring Sam Rockwell, Saoirse Ronan, Harris Dickinson, Adrian Brody, Ruth Wilson, and it was directed by Tom George. The plot of the film is that there is this play being put on that is a adaptation of an Agatha Christie mystery where all of a sudden somebody dies after the play's production, and Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan, who play constable and investigator people, are trying to figure out who amongst the theater operators, actors, and such as is the murderer and what the case is. And you get a very meta and too self-referencing film on mystery movies, because this movie is a comedy, I would say, first most. And to be honest, the comedy lands pretty well. I will say most of the actors and the writing behind the comedy land with a good hit, and the pacing and the timing of most of the jokes and the delivery of them really do make you laugh. So I will say the comedy, for the most part, does work. But you get problems where the movie has this whole plot about a murder mystery, and the murder mystery itself isn't all that engaging. Where Knives Out was trying to, be a send-up to classic detective movies like this, but it still had a very good and interesting mystery at the core of the theme of the movie, and it is meta still with its referentials, but not as meta as this movie's references. I don't feel like it works as well as Knives Out. Not saying that this is a bad movie in any retrospect. I will say the directing and cinematography and editing are all really well done. It really does take a creative use of this, because there's a split screen effect with two edits of a scene happening, and you see the characters each character reacting to the scenario differently. But then you do get scenes where somebody explains the climax of their film, and I'm immediately like, okay, that's going to be the climax of this film. And they try to be clever about it, but I feel like it's not the most clever referential thing, especially because you have Adrian Brody in this, who narrates the beginning of this film, and it's too hinting at what's going on here, because it tries to be so meta that I do feel like it doesn't work in some areas. Not saying it's all bad. The comedy does work for the most part, but I do feel like some moments the movie's like, yeah, you're fucking clever with your ideas, but they're really not that funny. And then the main mystery at hand is not all that interesting. And Sam Rockwell, who is a good actor, who I've seen put on really good performance in this, is not really playing all that interesting of a character. His performance is fine, but it's nothing really standout. He's just kind of playing a British detective from any noir type film where it's like deadpan delivery, he's fucking drunk. So it's all not that interesting. A surprising standout performance was Adrian Brody. I actually really enjoyed him in this, even though he's not playing the most upstanding person out there. I will say he's actually really well entertaining in this, and he puts in a good performance. And then same thing with Saoirse Ronan as, I guess, the main character. She kind of shares it with Sam Rockwell, but she's also putting in a really good performance as well. But the way that the plot takes in directions is very standard, and I don't feel like it works out for the most part, because the murder mystery, what's revealed to be going on, it's not all explained that well. Why this person who it's revealed at the end is canceling the play or something like that, I just don't think it's explained very well. And you also have the basic red herrings where it's set up, and then near the end of the movie, it's a third act split up between the main characters, and you just get a very standard plot, other than the way it's trying to comment on the murder mysteries, but I can't tell if it's on purpose or you're supposed to be engaged by the mystery at hand. I don't think it works very well, in my opinion, in the way that it's trying to go. Because it's almost like how Scream was very standard, Scream 5, but I feel like that was done on purpose. Where with this, it's doing the same thing, but I feel like you're supposed to care for the characters and really get interested in the mystery, which I'm not. Knives Out, where it's still commentating on murder mysteries and stuff like that, takes such a better direction at it than this one does. Not saying this movie is bad. I found it mildly entertaining. The movie keeps you entertained throughout most of it, and as a comedy, it does work well enough with good performances by the leads and a really creative direction uses of the formatting of this film, and how some scenes, I said, are split takes of a similar action already happening. So if I recommend this, I would say not the most necessary movie to see in the theater. There's not, like, breathtaking shots where you need to see it in the theater. You don't. And even when Agatha Christie shows up near the end, I liked those parts because, you know, it's cool to see that kind of thing, and the actress who plays her is pretty funny in it. But I really don't think this movie is necessary for you to see in the theaters. I think that if you want to give it a watch, if you saw the trailer and debating whether you found the comedy funny or not, I literally just saw this on a whim because there was nothing else interesting looking to me that I haven't already seen already. So, yeah, well, that gives you a hint on what I'm reviewing next, but yeah. But yeah, I will say it's not the most engaging of film. It's quite standard in its plot. The areas where it does breach out are in its editing and cinematography, and the comedy pretty well landing, pretty funny. I will say a lot of the scenes had some decent laughs from me, which is surprising, because I had no idea what this film was going to be. But yeah, other than that, and other than some pretty good performances by the leads, and some pretty good pacing where you don't feel like the film is dragging at all, I'd say this movie is alright in my opinion. It's not the best, but I've seen a lot fucking worse. So if I recommend it, I would say if you saw the trailer and looks like you're gonna like it, maybe see it, but if you're like, I'm hesitating on it, then don't go see it in the theater, just see it at home when it comes out. It's gonna be a lot less cheaper of a cost. You don't need to see it in theaters, I will say. But that will be it for this review, so hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe down below. Share your thoughts on the review and the movie in the comment section down below. I always like to see those. If you have any other movie requests, make sure to let me know. And yeah, now that you watched this review, you're an accomplice to murder. That's a thing from the movie, I know. It doesn't make sense if you haven't seen the movie. Well, see ya.